opportunity now to hear Loyola Marymount University, and I will give you this, but don't press it, please, until you have given me who I am, who you are, and I need to, Okay, so I'm going to stop this and clear it. I'm sorry, technology is not cooperating.
No, it's all right.
I'm just going to let you run out. Thank you. That's so well done. All right, so now I'm going to try. All right. You are?
Yes.
This is off the clock.
Okay, so we are Loyola Consultants, and we've been asked by you, James R. Favor and Company Insurance. You are the board of directors of James R. Favor, and that is an insurance company that's owned by 7 national fraternities in America. So basically, any member of the board is also a leader of a national fraternity, a president, a chair, something in that area.
All right. So, thank you, and now you can press and start.
Oh wait, this is counting up.
Oh, has it been going?
It's counting up.
Do you need help?
Oh, wait.
Oh.
I set that up so I wouldn't look as bad.
Should we just let hers do it?
No, we need both. So that you have a chance to look
Sure.
in and see where you are. But glasses would probably be essential.
No.
All right. So we need to stop this.
Sorry about that.
No, this is the nature of these wonderful technological
This is the
opportunities.
most complicated part of the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. Ace this, and you know it's so easy.
Should have spent a whole class on it.
This is how we should have prepared for this competition.
All right. One of you get started.
I get started.
Okay, ready? No. Mine's not going yet. Okay.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Allie Swenson, and these are my colleagues Savannah Wilson and Michael Bussey. We are here today to evaluate the ethical implications of the increasing hazing, sexual assault, and binge drinking occurring in fraternities today, and those are the organizations that each of you govern. We want to thank you for calling us back today. This gesture shows that you are committed to addressing and amending the unethical behavior that's been occurring, and we want to commend you for that. Let me boil down the ethical issue that you're facing into 3 parts. So first, there's a problem that exists within fraternities. Second, you as the leaders of these fraternities know about this problem. And third, you are not doing enough to solve it. So with these in mind, let me pose an ethical question to you all. Is it ethical to continue operating as you are when you recognize the harm occurring in your fraternities? Now I'd like to backtrack a little bit and discuss the unique position from which you come to us today. As board members of James R. Favor and Company, you each lead a national fraternity. But because of the unique risks that fraternities pose and the unique coverage that they demand, each of your 7 fraternities has come together to craft a self-insurance policy for all of your chapters. So this puts you in a position as directors of national fraternities, but also as directors of the only insurance company that can cover the members of those fraternities. And because of this, you have an ethical obligation to prevent the dangerous environments and dangerous behaviors that are occurring in fraternities today. Now, I'd like to recommend a 2-fold solution to you all. So first, we'd like to recommend that you revise your risk management policies and follow through from the national organization all the way down to each chapter that you oversee. Second, we recommend that you rebuild your member education programs to include more effective education about sexual assault, hazing, and binge drinking, as well as the potential liability that fraternity members enter into when they join. And we believe that if you do not make a proactive change, young men will continue to be harmed by your failure to act. Now, I'd like to reiterate the problem that exists within fraternities. This problem is the injury and harm that has been occurring due to sexual assault, hazing, binge drinking, and unsafe living conditions. Now, these problems cannot and should not be considered problems that occur within the college community as a whole. Instead, they demand to be looked at as problems specifically in the fraternity community and exacerbated by the structure of that community. One in at least one student in each of the last 43 years has died due to prevalent hazing practices such as paddling members and forced alcohol consumption. Now, research also shows that fraternity members are 3 times as likely to commit sexual assault than college men as a whole. Fraternity members also report binge drinking and alcohol abuse at double the rate that college men do as a whole. Other dangers, such as unsafe houses, are also present. Security features and safety features in fraternity houses are often spotty, with about half of fraternity houses lacking fire sprinklers. And there are also fatal and near-fatal falls that happen from fraternity house roofs, balconies, windows, and sleeping porches on a regular basis. Now, although the tendency exists to see these problems as the result of a few bad eggs, we want to make it clear to you that we as your consultants and the general public do not see these as isolated incidents. Instead, these are community-wide problems, and they demand to be seen as such.
As Allie mentioned, another piece of this problematic equation is the fact that you, as the leaders of these fraternities, are aware of this problem. Tragic stories are consistently in the news, and there is abundant research on the rising rates of fraternity sexual assault, hazing, alcohol abuse, and the other dangers involved in fraternity life. Additionally, just since the beginning of March, over 30 chapters have been shut down and closed by their university or their national office. Unfortunately, it often takes a death or a serious injury to spur this kind of discipline. I'd like to repeat the ethical question to you all. Is it ethical to turn a blind eye and continue operating as you are, often waiting for a tragic incident to occur before any action is taken, when you recognize the harm occurring in your fraternities? I'm going to address the concluding point in the ethical problem, the fact that you are not doing enough to solve this problem. One piece of this is a failure to take preventative measures. Fraternity chapters spread out across the country are not receiving proper supervision, but instead rely on the collegiate members in the fraternities to make sure all fraternity rules are followed. Further than that, this hands-off approach to daily supervision means that undergraduate members are taking all of the risk management into their own hands due to infrequent visits from supervisors and advisors from the national chapters and insufficient programming and education to help combat these problems before they arise. Further than that, as the leaders of these fraternities and the providers of their insurance, you're not only failing to take preventative measures, but also sometimes step away when these problems do arise. Your customers, collegiate fraternity members, are paying you to provide insurance and programs to them, and then when they're in a pinch, you're turning away, operating under a "we cover you unless you're bad" mentality. These fraternity members are young and are likely to have very little experience with insurance. They're going to believe what you tell them. Because of the values you espouse, honesty, integrity, service, they're going to assume you have their backs. It's not right to take advantage of this to get out of liability, especially when you have a monopoly on the coverage. As Allie mentioned, you are the only group who can cover these fraternities. There's no option for them to go to another company for these services, which creates a strong obligation for you to do good work to make sure harm and risk is eliminated. I'm going to conclude my portion of explaining the ethical issue by discussing the admirable values your fraternities were founded on. Integrity, providing a moral compass to your members. Loyalty, honesty. Clearly, sexual assault, hazing, and alcohol abuse are not in line here. And failing to educate, failing to ensure safety standards are met, and failing to take proactive measures to address clear patterns and harm are not in line with your mission statements either. You are currently acting inconsistent with your values and have failed to meet standards that you originally set forth for yourselves. You have an incredible opportunity here to help guide young men through their college experience, and we don't want continuation of the problems that we have addressed to prevent the positive fraternity experience from taking place on college campuses.
The current state of affairs within your organization poses a clear and present threat to your members' safety. Is it ethical to continue operating as you are when you recognize the harm that's occurring? Our answer is no. Our proposed solution has 2 parts. First, revamp your risk management system so that risk recognition is not left in the hands of active members. Second, educate your members about the dangers of alcohol abuse, sexual assault, and hazing. The first part of our solution is we recommend that you revamp your risk management system so that risk recognition is not left up to active members. One way to do this would be to have a third party inspecting housing on a regular basis to make sure that everything is safe and up to code. Additionally, behavioral issues could be handled by representatives of a national organization, taking a cue from the system already in place in many female sororities across the country. These advisors act as a resource to chapter leaders and make sure that all risks and policy violations are handled in accordance with the sorority's guidelines. We believe that a similar system should and must be put in place in your fraternities. The second part of our solution is education, education, education. Specifically, members must be educated about the dangers of sexual assault, alcohol abuse, and hazing. Now, many of your organizations already have some sort of education program in place, and that's great, but the current levels of harm indicate that there's far more work to be done. You have a unique opportunity here. You have a captive audience with your fraternity members who are developing the values and beliefs they will carry with them the rest of their lives. Now is the time to teach them that overconsumption of alcohol is dangerous both to their health and to their relationships. Now is the time to teach them that when it comes to sex, no always means no. Now is the time to teach them that what matters is character, integrity, and honesty. This is what your organizations were founded on, and it's time to return to a system that honors these founding values and protects your members. As they say, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. That's the theme behind our proposed solution. By installing a more encompassing risk management system and by educating your members, you can prevent the continuation of current trends of harm within your organizations. To conclude, there's substantial research and far too many tragic accidents indicating there's a clear problem with the way fraternities operate. The injuries and deaths associated with binge drinking, sexual assault, and hazing are an undeniable part of fraternity life at a much higher rate than in colleges in general. You are aware of these problems, and not enough is being done to stop them. This failure to act has caused numerous avoidable injuries and deaths. Not taking responsibility for the upward trend in these harms is not ethical. Our evaluation shows that if you want to uphold your values and act in an ethical manner, continuing to operate as you are is not an option. As Peter Smith-Heisler, the director of the largest association of national fraternities, has said, if we wish to preserve all that is right with today's fraternity movement, we must improve our efforts to address that which is wrong. Thank you for your time.